Back to Syberia, college and listen to a lecture. Yep.
Ah, there you are, Miss Walker. Good, good. Take a seat quickly. I'm impatient to start my lesson. My young friends, a very exciting discovery, unimaginable up until only a few hours ago, has come into my hands and has finally allowed me to complete my study on the mysterious Yukol people. Lights, please. The Yukols are a people from the far north about whom very little is known. They live far away, very far away, on the frozen borders of Siberia. This distance and the climatic conditions of the region, which are unfavorable to human existence, have limited the size of the Yukol population and kept it out of reach of the scientific world. The handful of slides that follow are actually the only documentation we have in our possession. It was a Russian explorer who made these drawings and took these photographs 100 or so years ago. Today, we owe what we know about the Yukol people and their culture to him. We know that the origins of the Yukols date back to the last ice age. Curiously, evidence of their presence has been found in Western Europe, and more precisely in the prehistoric caves at the heart of the Alps. This people, it seems, undertook a long migration over centuries towards the far north of the globe. The reasons for this migration are due to the importance of the mammoth in their craft, trade, and culture. They used them for transportation and as beasts of burden. The mammoth brought them meat, skins, fat, and ivory. Man and animal lived in symbiosis. There's no doubt about it. Mammoths started to drift away from the region due to changing climatic conditions, and the Yukols followed them to the north. to the edges of Siberia. Prehistoric cave drawings, identified as Yukol in origin, first led me to the extraordinary hypothesis that the Yukols had managed to domesticate the mammoth. They are, to the best of our knowledge, the only prehistoric people to represent a man riding a mammoth. Today, because of this genuine mammoth skin effigy, identified by myself as an authentic Neolithic object, I can confirm this hypothesis. Yukol forebears managed to tame mammoths. Prehistoric man uses little imagination. He draws what he sees and represents scenes from real life. This familiar day-to-day object is actually a children's toy. As we have seen, Yukol existence was inextricably linked to that of the mammoth. They used its skin for clothing and to make the roofs and walls of their houses. They used the tusks to build the frameworks of their homes, as well as weapons, tools, and jewelry. Curiously, the disappearance of the mammoth 12,000 years ago had no immediate effect on the Yukol's way of life. It seemed that for a long time after, the people maintained their strong bond with the mammoth through the centuries. As incredible as it may seem, the Yukol people have continued right up until the start of this century to feed themselves on mammoth meat and to use the skin for clothing and shelter. Their ivory craftwork industry is still flourishing. It would appear that to preserve ancestral customs, the Yukols learned how to exploit through the centuries the large number of frozen mammoth carcasses that were perfectly preserved in the ice of the Siberian tundra. They have been able to live mainly off this enormous freezer stock for almost 30 centuries. As plausible as this explanation may seem, it seems it is not enough for the scientific community who, I will confess, is greatly perplexed by the question. In the absence of acceptable scientific evidence, we have to make do with Yukol shaman artifacts. The research department that I have the honor to represent today lends no credence to the myths and legends that these tribal charlatans peddle. We have to take their stories at face value, mere tales to while away the long Siberian winter. The legend of the Siberian ice ark is a very good example. You are invited to find out for yourselves from the pamphlet that I had passed around to you. This legend would have us believe that today, somewhere on a lost island to the north of Siberia, there are living mammoths still in existence, a sort of hangover from the Ice Age. This small herd has been miraculously preserved for more than 120 centuries by the Yukol's tender care. And the island on which the pachyderms are said to live is called Syberia. My friends, I advise you to resist the temptation you may have to believe in this pish and tish. The island of Syberia is not charted on any map, and the idea that mammoths have survived to the 21st century is an idle scientist's pipe dream. The Yukols were sadly among the first victims of the colonization of continental Siberia led by the Russians in the 20th century. The Kolkhoz and Sovkhoz systems, as well as the exploitation, disdain, and humiliation people had to suffer, marked a definitive break in the Yukol's traditional lifestyle. And since the collapse of the communist regime, the Yukol population finds itself confronted with the same political and social upheavals that other Siberian communities are experiencing. There are two consequences to arise from this. Some Yukols have lost their tribal identity and have integrated into the Russian population. Others, however, have sought long and hard to re-establish links with their ancestral culture that was lost under the Soviet regime. Now, at the start of the 21st century, the last true surviving Yukols have gone to live on the vast territories of their ancestors. Nobody knows today where they live or how they survived. Their very existence would be a matter for speculation if they did not turn up periodically at the tundra's most isolated fur trading posts to exchange mammoth tusks for essential items. There ends my lecture for today. Thank you for being among us today, Miss Walker. Please make your way to the laboratory where you will find your mammoth doll. There are also photocopies of my lectures should you so require them.
I guess there's nothing here to explore. I talked to this guy. It was like he's asleep. Oh, it's the same place. Okay. Yeah, that's right. It's just a locked door.
Professor, it's me. I've come to pick up the mammoth doll.
The doll is waiting for you there, Miss Walker. Please take good care of it.
Don't worry. I'm beginning to get quite attached to it myself. Can I trouble you just a little longer?
With pleasure, Kate. I'm all ears.
I must congratulate you for your lecture. You were right. The subject is absolutely fascinating. I never believed that mammoths could be so interesting.
What you heard was only the tip of the iceberg, my dear. But if I have at least awoken a passion in you, I'm only too proud.
Did Hans Vorarlberg agree with your hypothesis on the Yukels being able to tame mammoths?
Now, Hans was no man of science. His pathological obsession was to find mammoths that were still in existence. Such a hypothesis is somewhat overblown, don't you think?
You don't believe in it yourself?
Mammoths died out thousands of years ago. Of this we are certain. Today the only mammoths in Siberia are frozen ones.
Do you know where Hans might have gone after his stay here in Barrackstadt?
No, but I would not be surprised if he left in search of the Yukels, or what is left of them today.
I'll leave you in peace. I hope I haven't disturbed you too much.
Sorry? No, not at all, my dear child.
I shall pick up the mammoth doll and be on the way then. I'm gonna put it back in the train.
I'm sorry to disturb you.
What can I do for you, miss?
I've got it. I found a winding machine. Down over there, along the track.
A winding machine? I knew that strange gizmo had something to do with trains. How does it work then?
I was going to ask you the same question.
Miss, I only feed the birds and water the plants. Mechanical stuff's just not in the job description, okay?
I feel like I've lost my way a little here. I could really do with your help.
Hey, anything I can do, miss, you just let me know.
I won't disturb you any longer, Mr. Station Master.
Welcome to Barrockstadt, miss.
Oh, another phone call. Who would it be this time?
Hello?
Where are you?
Hi, Dan. I'm in Barrockstadt.
Bollock, what? Is that a town? I hope the man you're looking for lives there. Are you coming home soon?
From what I gather, it's one huge university with an extraordinary station aviary. If you could only see it, there are trees and birds everywhere. It's so weird here.
Sounds like a great place for a bit of sightseeing. So, are you coming back soon?
I don't think so. In fact, the train I'm traveling on has some kind of a mechanical problem. We've been forced to stop here.
Us? I thought you were alone. Who's with you?
Oscar, the train engineer.
You're messing around with mechanics now, are you?
Don't be so stupid, Dan, please. Oscar's an automaton created by Mr. Varlberg, the man I'm looking for. And he's not any old robot. He's a sophisticated butler type, if you see what I mean. He's a bit obsessive as well.
Kate, I don't know what they're feeding you in Europe, but don't you think it's time that you came home?
But my mission still isn't finished.
To hell with your mission. I don't know why you accepted it in the first place. If you just stuck to the middle of the road, then we wouldn't be in this mess.
We? If there's any mess, it's me who's in it. And while I'm trying to come to grips with strange towns, you, my darling, are sitting at home on your butt. I seem to remember we had nothing against my departure.
It was only going to be 2 or 3 days, Kate. Please, try to put yourself in my shoes.
Your shoes. Not only do I have to fit myself into your diary, but I've got to get myself into your shoes as well? Is there anywhere else Sir would like me to put myself while we're on the subject?
Look, I don't want to talk about it now. Call me back when you've calmed down.
I was perfectly calm before I picked up your call. I only wanted a few words of encouragement, not your disdain. Was that too much to ask?
You can be such a selfish...
Takes one to know one, sweetheart.
Oh, so there's a little romantic problem here. The plot thickens. Yep, we'll pick up the plot in the next video. So this is Gamer Lon signing out, saying stay tuned for more Syberia. And thanks for watching. Bye.